And I'm going to turn to the story that maybe we should have had right at the top of the store. Amidst the ongoing tensions along the LAC, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's meeting with Chinese counterpart Wang Yi. Both leaders have reached a 5-point consensus to ease tension, but no real headway made on the critical issue of disengagement in eastern Ladakh. What is the way forward? Are we to assume that disengagement will take place after this meeting between the two foreign ministers? Can India trust China? Is China serious about disengagement? Some of the questions I want to raise today. I'm joined at the moment by Nirupama Rao, former Foreign Secretary, former Envoy to China. Appreciate your joining us, Nirupama ji. You give us your sense. What is your sense? Have we, through this meeting, maybe broken the ice that exists between the two countries, or is it too early to say that?
Thank you, Rajdeep. Good to be on your show. I think that the meeting that took place yesterday between our foreign minister and the Chinese foreign minister was a constructive development, a positive development, and the fact that the joint press statement encapsulates a consensus reached during those discussions, which extends into 5 points, which you have seen, portends well for the future. And I hope that this process, because this has to be a continuing process, it has to be taken forward and has to be further developed and evolved. And that is really what we should look forward to now. But a good beginning has definitely been made.
You're saying it's a good beginning, but the fact is that we, over the last 4 months, have seen at times hope being generated that that the Chinese in particular will pull back, but it doesn't happen in the end. Do you believe that China is in a way simply buying time at the moment? They've taken 2 steps forward and at best will be willing to take 1 step back. Should we be wary of the Chinese? Can we really trust the Chinese?
I think there has been an erosion, a very distinct and substantive erosion of mutual trust between the two sides. So the relationship is not in a good place today, despite all the efforts that had been made over the last 3 decades to build a structure and a process for a good and a solid and stable bilateral relationship. Unfortunately, that process seems to have lacked sufficient resilience. And of course, the tragic events at Galwan really proved to be a turning point. So to answer your question, can we trust the Chinese? At this moment, as I said, there's been an erosion, a substantive erosion of mutual trust between the two sides. But the diplomatic and political process has to continue. We obviously cannot throw up our hands in the air and say, you know, this is goodbye to diplomacy, this is goodbye to negotiations. We can't have talks in such a situation. We have to be patient and we have to see how we can take this process forward. I don't think it's the time. I personally feel pointing fingers either side at each other is not going to help. This is not the time to talk on those lines. It's a time to think of how we can build a consensus.
You're saying it's a time to build consensus, but every senior army officer I speak to believe that the Chinese have come with a very clear plan to capture territory or at least redraw, if they can, the LAC as they see it in eastern Ladakh. That's the worry, that in a way, diplomacy is only being used by the Chinese as a ruse.
Well, the LAC, as the Chinese actions show, they've definitely tried to push the LAC westward. I don't believe there can be any doubt about that. And you see that on the ground in the various pockets where you've seen heightened activity and increasingly close confrontation between the two sides, as the Indian Army has also moved to consolidate and protect its positions. But I really, you know, the retired army people that you have spoken to must be privy to information that I'm not privy to. But on the basis that I can understand, on the basis of my understanding of the situation, I believe that this effort to continue and to take forward discussions at the diplomatic and political level to see how consensus can be built and disengagement can be effected is something we should all support.
Okay, that's fair enough. I think, Nirupama Rao, you believe that these are efforts being made to evolve some kind of consensus, which hopefully in the weeks ahead will lead to de-escalation. And that is an important element, obviously. No one really wants a military conflict, certainly in the times in which we live. Appreciate your joining us, Ms. Rao, and sorry that we kept you waiting because we had our politicians slugging it off with each other. But always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.